the learning process. 2. Introduction to the toolkit. Remember that a learning process exercise begins with a group of people posing questions about a specific experience in any moment of its development. It starts with the organisation of memories and information, but then focuses on analysis and reflection. In the end, several results must be generated, including lessons learnt, the range of reflections and recommendations. All of them are to be applied in practice. Each one of the 4 phases of the learning process has an objective. In phase 1, called setup and framing, the key actors define the fundamental aspects of the learning process. What is the objective? What are the expected results? What are the questions that the learning process must answer? Who should participate? Who should the results be shared with, and through what channels? What methodologies and tools must be used to promote reflection and analysis during the learning process exercise? These questions are posed during the framing interview and are presented in the framing report developed by the facilitation team. Phase 2 corresponds with the implementation of the methodology defined during the setup and framing. In this phase, the facilitation team leads the application of tools that will help answer the learning process's guiding questions. Some of the tools used are interviews and group exercises. In phase 3, the facilitation team develops a learning process report that includes the answers to the guiding questions, recommendations, lessons learned, and any other reflection that contributes to the learning process's expected results. This report is reviewed, discussed, and validated with the key actors until a version where all the parties agree that the expectations of the learning process have been met is reached. Once an agreement has been reached with the key actors about the results of the learning process, the production of communications materials is finalised during phase 4, and the mechanisms and channels to reach the audiences, internal and external, prioritised during the framing phase are prepared. Phase 4 also includes an effort to achieve ownership of the lessons learnt. It consists of ensuring knowledge is developed through the incorporations of lessons learned and recommendations for planning, monitoring, evaluation, and implementation dependent on the context and level of the learning process. To achieve this objective, we have designed a lessons learned, validation and ownership roadmap, which is the end goal of a learning process. Now that we have watched this brief introduction to the phases and their tools, we will go into more details on the tools for phase 1 in the next video.